What would you do if ATF agents knocked on your door right now and asked to come inside? If you open that door the wrong way, you can give up your privacy before you even realize it. And once agents are inside your home, your whole day can turn into a search, an interview, or an arrest. Hit subscribe right now because what I'm about to show you could keep you from making the biggest mistake of your life. Tap like too, because when your heart is racing, you'll want these exact words burned into your memory. Here's what you're about to learn. The first sentence you say before that door opens. The one line that blocks consent and keeps your home protected. The words that stop you from talking yourself into trouble. And what to do if they already have a warrant in their hands. Let me show you exactly how to handle this without sounding rude, crazy, or scared. I've analyzed over 200 body cam videos, and the pattern is always the same. The people who stay calm do better. The people who start explaining usually make things worse. Most people have no idea that your front door is one of the most dangerous places to start talking. That's because your home feels safe, but when agents show up, that feeling makes you drop your guard. If you own firearms, live with someone who does, or even just know someone under investigation, you need this. And one quick note for you. If you run a federally licensed gun shop, some inspection rules can be different. You should call a lawyer fast. This video is about your home, your doorstep, and your words. Now let's talk about what usually goes wrong for you. You hear a knock, you peek outside, you see jackets, badges, maybe a clipboard, maybe serious faces. Your brain starts moving too fast. You think if you act friendly, this goes away. So you open the door wide, you invite them in to clear things up. You start saying stuff like, "I don't have anything to hide." Or, "Sure, come in for a second." That is where the damage starts. Here's the reality. Agents are trained to use your own comfort against you. They don't need you screaming. They need you talking. They need you relaxed enough to consent. They need you nervous enough to explain. And once you start doing both, you can lose control of the whole contact in under a minute. Your goal is not to win them over. Your goal is to stay calm, keep your rights, and force everything clean. That starts with your first move, and your first move is not opening the door like nothing is wrong. The first thing you do is keep the door closed and ask one question. Here's exactly what you say. "Do you have a warrant? Please hold it up where I can see it." Word for word. Memorize that line. You can say it through the closed door, through a camera, or through a cracked door with the chain on, but your best move is still keeping that door shut while you ask. This works because your home gets stronger legal protection than almost anywhere else. Your car gets less, your front yard gets less, but your home is where the law slows the government down. This comes straight from Supreme Court rulings. In Payton v. New York, the court made a ruling. The court said officers cannot just enter your home without a warrant and without your consent. In plain English, they usually need a judge's paper or a real emergency. Not a guess, not a hunch, not "we just want to talk." Most drivers say, "Sure, come in, I'm sure this is a misunderstanding." Then agents are inside your home and your control is gone. Smart drivers say, "Do you have a warrant? Please hold it up where I can see it." Then the whole contact stays on legal ground. Here's why this matters for you in the real world. Once you open that door wide, agents can say you invited them. Maybe you stepped back. Maybe you nodded. Maybe you said, "Okay," while panicking. Now your doorway problem becomes a living room problem. Your safe becomes a problem. Your closet becomes a problem. Your words become evidence. Defense attorneys use this exact line. It makes your position clear from the first second. You're not fighting. You're not hiding. You're asking the one question that matters first. And if they do hold up a warrant, read it. Read the address if you can. Read the name if you can. If you can't read it well, speak up. Say, "I need to see the warrant clearly." You're allowed to verify what they are waving at your face. This is 100% legal. You do not have to guess whether the paper is real, whether the address is yours, or whether the warrant is for your home or someone else's. Watch what happens when you skip this step. You open fast. They say they just need a minute. You think you can smooth it over. 10 minutes later, your house is full of agents, and you do not even know if they had legal authority to cross your doorway. Now watch what happens when you do it right. You keep the door closed. You ask about the warrant first. If there is no warrant, you have not handed them entry with your own hand. If there is a warrant, you know exactly what changed and why. And one more thing for you. If they say, "Open the door so we can explain," that is not an answer. It doesn't count. If they say, "We just want to talk," that is not an answer either. Don't fall for it. The only answer that changes your next move is yes or no on the warrant. That question keeps you grounded when your pulse is jumping. It gives you one clear step instead of panic. Think you could stay that calm with federal agents at your door? Let me know in the comments. Most people picture this wrong until it happens to them. Now let's get to the second line. This one protects your home even more. If they ask to come in, if they ask to take a quick look, or if they say they just want to step inside and talk, you say this: "I do not consent to any entry or search." Those exact 8 words. Calm voice, no extra speech, no excuses, no stories. This line matters because consent is the shortcut around your privacy. Agents know that. If you let them in, even for just a second, your situation changes. You can spend months fighting over what you allowed, what they saw, and what happened next. Here's the trick: they don't want you knowing. They often do not need you to fully invite them. They just need you to sound unsure. They need a weak yes. They need you stepping back. They need you saying, "I guess that's fine." Bad way. Most say, "I have nothing to hide." Then your words become permission. Smart drivers say, "I do not consent to any entry or search." Then agents have to rely on actual legal authority, not your fear or your misunderstanding. Legal experts agree this is your strongest protection when someone wants access to your home. And this comes straight from Supreme Court rulings too. In Georgia versus Randolph, a key rule was set. The court said that when a person is standing there and clearly says no, that refusal matters. In plain English, your clear no can block a consent search at your home. Your words count, your refusal counts, your presence counts. That is why this line has to be simple. Do not say, "I'd rather you didn't." Do not say, "Maybe later." Those are soft answers. Do not say, "Why do you need to?" Soft answers get twisted and used against you. Clear answers hold up better. Defense attorneys use this exact line in court. Clear refusal gives your lawyer something solid to point to later in front of a judge. If the audio catches you saying no, that can matter a lot. Listen closely because this is critical. You do not have to prove you are innocent by opening your house. That is a myth. You do not help yourself by being extra cooperative. You help yourself by being calm and exact. Former police officers have confirmed this works because officers know the difference between people. They know the difference between a scared person talking too much and a person who knows their rights. And the second person creates a cleaner record. Watch what happens when you use the wrong line. You say, "I really don't think there's anything in there." Now you are arguing facts. They keep pushing. They ask why you sound nervous. They ask what is in the back room. They ask who else is inside. Each answer gives them more. It expands the investigation. Now watch what happens when you use the right line. You say, "I do not consent to any entry." That ends the debate. They may not like it. They may keep talking. But your position is fixed, and if you live with someone else, your refusal matters even more. If you're present an object, that can matter under the law. So if your roommate or spouse starts folding under pressure, your job is not to argue with them. Your job is to clearly state your own refusal. Again, your line is simple. "I do not consent to any entry or search." Nothing more. The third tactic is the one that stops your mouth from becoming their evidence. If agents start asking questions through the door, on the porch, or inside after showing a warrant, you say this: "I am invoking my right to remain silent. I want a lawyer." Say it exactly like that. Short, clean, strong. This works because your words are easy to use. Not your safe. Not your receipts. Not your texts. Your words are the easiest tool. People talk when they are scared. People talk when they are innocent. Silence feels weird. That is exactly why you need a sentence ready before anybody shows up. Here's the reality. Talking almost never shrinks your problem. It usually expands it. Most people say, "I can explain." Then they just built the case for the agents. Smart people say, "I'm invoking my right to silence. I want a lawyer." Then the guessing, explaining, and panic stop immediately. I've analyzed over 200 body cam videos, and the cleanest outcomes start when interviews stop. The messy outcomes start when the person thinks one little sentence will clear everything up. It almost never does. One answer turns into 10. 10 turns into a timeline. Then your timeline does not match a text, a receipt, or what somebody else told them. Now your problem is not just the knock. Your problem is your own statement. This is 100% legal. You do not have to answer questions about your guns or guests. You do not have to answer about your purchases, your messages, or where you were last night. You do not have to fill silence because an agent stares at you. No help is required. And yes, you want the lawyer part in the sentence too. It makes your position clearer. It tells them you are done doing this alone. Defense attorneys use this exact line in court. You're not chatting, you're invoking. You're asking for counsel. You're closing the door. Some people worry this makes them look guilty. It does not. It makes you disciplined. Innocent people get trapped by bad wording. Guilty people lie. Innocent people guess. Both get punished. That is why your safest move is not to perform. Your safest move is to stop talking. If they keep asking questions after you say it, do not get pulled back in. Repeat it. "I am invoking my right to remain silent. I want a lawyer." Repetition is your friend. Panic is not. If you've made it this far, you're serious about protecting your rights. Hit that like button because the next part is where most people wreck everything fast. Now let's cover what you do if they really do have a warrant. This part matters. You do not physically block the door. You do not shove the paper away. You do not argue. You say this: "I will comply with the warrant, but I do not consent to any search beyond it." That sentence does two things for you. It keeps you from getting charged over resistance, and it makes clear that your compliance is not consent. Those are not the same thing. If a judge signed a warrant, agents may come in, but you don't have to help them. Bad way. Most say, fine, do whatever you want. Then it sounds like you agreed to everything. Good way. Smart people say, I will comply, but I do not consent to any search beyond it. Warrants have limits. They should list a place and what agents are looking for. Don't help them. It means you do not help them go further with your own mouth. Non-consent preserves your position. Remember Caniglia versus Strom. The Supreme Court said there is no giant free pass for general caretaking. Your home is not a place they can enter whenever they say they are just helping out. If there is a valid warrant, do not resist. If no warrant, do not open and don't consent. Florida v. Jardine says they can't turn your porch into a search zone. Treat the knock with care. Verify the warrant. Refuse consent. Stop talking. Do not resist. That is the one simple plan. Now walk through the right way. Same knock, same jackets. Stay behind the closed door. Ask for the warrant. If they have none, refuse entry. If questions start, invoke silence. If they return with a warrant, comply, but state your non-consent beyond the document's scope. Your voice stays steady. Your rights stay clear. Your lawyer has something useful later. Subscribe so you catch the phone search video. Simple beats, clever every single time. Stay safe.